Counsel for the National Legal and Policy Center, Paul Kamenar, says there is a 50-50 chance former FBI Director James Comey will be convicted on his recent indictments. Here's One America's John Hines.
Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted by a federal grand jury based in Alexandria, Virginia. The indictment charges the ex-FBI chief with lying to Congress. With us is counsel for the National Legal and Policy Center, Paul Kamenar. Paul, what do you make of this indictment just days before the statute of limitations was due to run out?
The indictment has two counts in it. The first count, as you said, was lying to Congress as to whether or not Comey authorized somebody in the FBI to leak information about the Russiagate to the press. The second count is obstruction of a congressional proceeding. So that second count basically dovetails off the first count. Now, as I understand it, John, there was a third count that was presented to the grand jury, and they did not bring an indictment on that third count. So we may find out later on what that third count was about. So anyway, in terms of the merits of the case, on its face, it looks like it's a good case because they have the video of Ted Cruz back in September 2020 asking Comey whether or not he leaked any information through the FBI to the press. And he said, hey, look, your deputy, Andrew McCabe, said he did. So who's lying, McCabe or you?
So Andrew McCabe had to change his story, as I understand it, because he was confronted with some evidence from the Inspector General of the FBI, and we still don't know what that evidence was. But he said that he was in direct communication with Mr. Comey. Mr. Comey essentially authorized him to leak this information. Mr. Comey saying that's not true. So that's the essential conflict here. One person is lying, and apparently they made an indictment saying that James Comey is lying in this case. And that's what the evidence points to, apparently, right?
Well, it does, but there's probably some wrinkles to that. So it would seem that McCabe will be the witness number one.
He'll be a star witness, I would think, right?
You would think. However, John, if you keep in mind that there's some evidence that McCabe, through this Inspector General report, said, no, I leaked it all on my own. And I went back to Comey after the fact and said, hey, here's what I did. And so Comey knew after the fact. So the question is whether Comey authorized it from the beginning or not. But that also presupposes, because the indictment says that Comey told person number 3 to leak it. Now, who's person number 3? It doesn't say McCabe. There's some speculation it might be James Baker, who was the general counsel of the FBI, that Comey authorized to leak. But nevertheless, the indictment is broad enough because it says that he authorized a person in the FBI to leak it, whether it was McCabe, Baker, or somebody else to leak it. But they'll get discovery because a defendant is entitled to get all evidence from the government, whether it's damning evidence or exculpatory evidence, and they have to turn that over to the defendant before trial.
Paul Kamenar, what are the chances that Mr. Comey is found guilty, that they get a guilty verdict here, do you suppose?
Yeah. Well, I think if he gets by any motions to dismiss, which, like I said, his attorneys will argue, I think he's got a 50-50 shot of having that granted because there's plenty of evidence that he was singled out by the government to be prosecuted. But if the judge says, no, nice try, but you're going to trial, then I think, again, it's probably 50-50 he'll be convicted because of the composition of the jury panel in Northern Virginia.
Counsel for the National Legal and Policy Center, Paul Kamenar, thank you for speaking with us on One American News, sir. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure.
For all our viewers asking where One American News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.